Hi student, till now we have talked about history of AI, what is AI, the components of AI, and to what extent as engineers we should know about AI. We also talked about the applications of AI, what are the benefits, some of the things to look out while you are implementing AI projects. Now we will talk about that AI is a standalone technology cannot deliver you true results. You always need AI along with other related areas of technology. So we know certain areas of technology like blockchain, augmented virtual reality, but the most important of them all is Internet of Things. आप लोगों ने सुना होगा स्मार्ट सिटीज़ के बारे में. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने स्मार्ट सिटीज़ लॉन्च करी है जहाँ पे हर चीज़ सेंसर बेस्ड होगी, स्मार्ट होगी, ई गवर्नेंस को स्मार्ट किया जा रहा है. ऑल ऑफ दीज टेक्नोलॉजीज आर अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ AI and IoT. We will try to go a bit more detail in terms of how AI and IoT mesh with each other. Before we start, I'm sure you must have heard this word IoT, Internet of Things. ये बहुत पुराना word नहीं है. Unlike AI, IoT only became a sort of a core technology in last 20 years. It was started in MIT lab by Kevin Ashton in 2000s. And the idea is Procter & Gamble, a famous FMCG company, thought about using RFID. RFID, all of us know, radio frequency identification device. We talked about RFID tags in the last module to make smart asset inventory management system using RFID tags. The idea was how you can use RFID tag information, publish it on the internet and try to make sense out of that data from RFID tags in terms of how the logistics is taken care of, what kind of vital parameters of that particular asset is. So that's how it started as an experiment, like most important inventions. Where IoT has come now and why IoT makes sense in the current situation, just like we talked about AI, due to cheap availability of devices, data, connectivity and engaging apps on which people are willing to contribute their data to enhance the algorithms, IoT similarly has become very relevant, commercially viable now. And we talk about why, because the size and cost of wireless radios have dropped significantly, making it much more affordable. IPv6 standards have come in. Earlier we had IPv4 which had limitations. Now IPv6 standard is here. Electronic companies are building better connectivity through Wi-Fi, cellular, Bluetooth based beacons are there which use very small power. That's another important part. In IoT, you need to take care of two things. One is the size of the device and the power it needs. As you now must be seeing all around, we all use power banks, battery charging, all of our lives dependent on these devices. They all need battery. So battery, currently lithium polymer, lithium ion batteries are being used. Now aluminum batteries being talked about. That's a key component of making IoT devices more relevant and last longer. Mobile data coverage, we're talking about 5G now, 4G is already there. While it's not perfect, solar based technologies in batteries being coming up, which has made the cost and the usage much higher. Cisco's Internet of Things group predicted that 50 billion devices would be connected by 2020-21. So that's the level of connected devices available which will drive the growth of IoT. In terms of IoT, while you have understood in terms of in a nutshell how it works, what kind of data it can give, I want to give you a small example. In UK, there is a town called Essex where dairy farming is a big thing. They are using sensors on cows and these are all approved and safe to use, which tracks their mood, which tracks their movement, which tracks how much they are eating and is able to predict the milk production from the cow. And using AI systems, then you can do auto correcting measures to improve the production. So one of the ideas was that when the cow is stressed, the milk production goes down. So if they see that the cow is stressed, automatically they will start playing a soothing music using AI to relax the cow so the milk production increases. Early warning signals for any disease or any symptoms which are getting developed. So that's the combination of AI and IoT which can even look at a small process like milk production and enhance it and make the experience much better for the cow itself. Let's take a much more complicated example. Let's take an educational institution for the sake of a simpler example, because all of us are studying or have studied recently, so we can relate to it. How IoT and AI can make a school much smarter. So if we talk about different areas in a school, you've got transport, you've got library, you've got classrooms, you've got computer labs and certain spaces where you do experimentation, you've got activity areas, and you've got the administration part. AI and IoT can impact all of these areas. So if you take some of the examples, you can have wearables which are IoT enabled, just like Fitbits, that can track your physical activity, that can track your location for safety and security of students. You can have maker spaces with 3D printers and laser trimmers in activity rooms. You can have Internet of Things based HVAC system, heating and ventilation, air conditioning systems, which can actually track if from the facial recognition of students, if they are not feeling comfortable or if they are uneasy or if they are doing like this, they are feeling hot or cold, it can real time use facial recognition, gesture analysis, sentiment analysis, and can trigger the auto control of the air conditioning system. Isn't it amazing if we could have it in our classrooms? It can also correlate some of these attributes with your engagement in the classroom and how fast are you able to learn. For example, if I feel cold, my learning ability might reduce, or if I am not feeling comfortable in the classroom, my attention span decreases. All these kind of correlations and algorithms are possible when we are using IoT and AI in combination. Another example is robot cleaning. There is something called as robot maid, in which the robot moves around the room. It's got obstacle detection sensors, and it can clean the entire room without any human intervention. We could use that in the classrooms. There is something called as smart dustbins, which do not need manual cleaning and can be operated with a mobile app. Imagine if all of these systems, rather than working disparately, come together and seamlessly integrate into a centralized data warehouse and AI is done on top of it. Imagine the kind of predictive analytics we would be able to do, and school would be a much more fun and engaging place, right? But at this stage, it's also important to note, while it all sounds very interesting and fun, IoT has got some serious considerational issues which you should take care of while designing IoT system. Default weak and hard coded credentials can lead to susceptibility of data loss in an IoT setting. It's difficult sometimes to update firmware and operating systems because all these devices are implemented and are on the site. To update the firmware on the air, which is called FOTA, sometimes gets complicated due to network issues and bandwidth issues. There is also an issue of vulnerable interfaces and injection attacks on the system. There is an issue of DOS and DDoS attacks. I'll give you a small example. In United States, there is a city which is a smart city, and it has got all the connected devices onto a centralized mesh network. A hacker last year hacked into the network of the city and for few minutes was able to hack the entire city. Can you imagine the amount of risk that poses? When we are connecting more and more devices, we are concentrating data, centralizing information, which is beautiful for AI, but at the same time, you are also concentrating risk. If anything happens on that centralized system, it can impact millions of lives. So it's very important when we are designing IoT and AI enabled smart systems that data security, privacy, and cyber security is on top of our minds. Let's take another example of AI and related technologies. You guys must have heard about something called Amazon Go. Amazon Go is a store set up by a company called Amazon in US, where there is no physical staff. You walk into the store, you buy stuff, and you check out without any human intervention. How do they do it? Again, the magic of IoT and AI. You go into a store, you see an aisle, all the products are visually listed. You can tap on it, it will show you the ingredients, it will show you the available stock levels and the pricing. You can tap on it, add to your basket or your checkout page. The wallet is already added with your Amazon account. They've got sensors and scanners on the door which identify which all tags and which all SKUs you already picked up in your basket. When paying for goods, there is a microchip on the credit card which will communicate autonomously with the checkout reader, and you're good to go. You don't need anybody to talk to or any human being to support you in this entire process. And I had the privilege of visiting one of these stores last year, and I can tell you the experience is extremely seamless and I faced no issues at all. Why only businesses? If we talk about our personal lives, all of us have seen devices which we can wear, which will track our monitoring levels, our sleep patterns, our physical activity levels, how many steps we have walked, how many stairs or step cases we have taken, our heartbeat. Latest Apple devices can also do a ECG on the go with your wearable device. So you can actually have this kind of a dashboard which will tell you, how your personal life is, and actually predict onset of a certain disease and give you early warning signal, so you are better prepared for these issues. Why stop at that? If you are talking about machine learning and big data, we can actually aggregate some of this data over a wide variety of population and different demographics and start to drive patterns out of it. Imagine if this data can be linked to your healthcare record or your healthcare professional or a nearest hospital. So if they see any unusual activity in your patterns, it can immediately flag off to the nearest hospital and can predict that you might have a certain disease, give you certain recommendation, and if the situation is beyond immediate control, it can alert to your nearest hospital and it can actually save life. I know a company in UK which is doing something similar for elderly care. Elderly people have a high risk of falling over and they are not able to balance themselves well. And once they fell over, they can by mistake hit their head on a wall or the floor, or they can hurt their knee or any other body part. But if you've got, this specific company which I'm talking about, they've got sensors in the entire house and they have got wearable devices which is tracking all your vital parameters. It is also keeping a track whether you are standing, sitting. It is also keeping a track of water level, water intake. So they've got smart water bottles, they've got smart toilets which is keeping a track of how much water intake you have, how many times you're using a washroom. So they actually know the dehydration levels. And in elderly people, dehydration levels is the key issue which leads them to lose their balance and fall over. So they are using IoT plus AI and big data to actually predict if a certain elderly person has a probability of falling over, let alone a reactive system in which when they fall over you can call the nearest ambulance. They can actually prevent a certain possible cause of a disease. So that's the kind of early warning prediction that can be done using a combination of AI and IoT. And that's the real beauty, that you are able to actually know when a certain situation might happen and you can take a corrective measure in advance to avoid a difficult situation. What's possible with AI? Self-driving cars already used in the world. IBM's Deep Blue had beaten the Grandmaster 20 years ago in chess. This is an amazing game I want to quickly talk about. In this game, you actually need a human and machine coordination. Till now the biggest issue in AI has been that how do you get all these bots and robots to coordinate with each other. So there is something called as swarm intelligence, which I want you to take a note of and study in greater detail in terms of how machines can coordinate with each other and machines can coordinate with humans, and what are the complexities involved in that. That is going to be a key determinant when we go into Industrial Revolution 5.0, where in our workplaces we would have humans and machines working side by side. I want to give you a quick sense, because all of us have been talking about self-driving cars, driverless cars. I had the privilege of using one of the driverless cars 3 years ago when it was in a beta stage, and they give you a real-time view of all the sensors that they use. It's a perfect and classical case of IoT plus AI being used. So you've got long range radar, you've got light sensors, you've got computer vision cameras, which I talked about, which can actually recognize whether the object is a person, human being. You know, the biggest issue in this is to differentiate between objects, because you've got a traffic light, which is also an object, you've got a tree, you've got a human person standing at the traffic light as a pedestrian wanting to cross the street. All of these are stationary objects. Plus you've got moving objects, which are your nearby cars. To be able to differentiate between them and take appropriate action using computer vision to understand that the signal has changed from red to green and taking an action, lane departures, changing lanes in a motorway, all these are extremely complicated functions that a car needs to do. Emergency stops, somebody who is driving next to you might have an erratic behavior. How do you on the fly real time determine your position and change a safe measure? So these are some of the amazing things that are possible with AI and IoT as a combination. So I'm going to now summarize this chapter. In this chapter, we talked about that AI as a standalone technology has got its limitation. But when you power AI with IoT devices, cloud infrastructure, and generate connected devices data, AI can become a much bigger powerful tool and can actually help solve any problem. It can make our institutions smarter, it can help in e-governance, it can power driverless cars as you saw. So that is the combination of IoT plus AI. But while implementing such systems, we should always be mindful of cyber security, data privacy, and data protection issues, because as I said, more and more devices and data and systems, when they get concentrated, the risk also gets concentrated. In the next chapter, we will talk about what are some of the softer issues around AI, around ethics, biases, and how can we take care of that to enable a successful AI project execution. Thank you, student.